What up, everyone? It's Nick
and Kayla
from 314 Midwest Crank. We want to welcome you to episode 2 of the Crank Views podcast. And tonight, we got a real special guest.
Yes, sir.
We got the Sonic Boom of the South in the house. And we got my former student, my little bro.
Hello.
Levon Miles, trumpet, Trump Funk, whatever you want to call it, from Jackson State University here. How you doing, man?
I'm good. It's great to be here.
Appreciate you for doing this.
Yes, definitely appreciate it.
Straight up, because it's been a long time coming. We used to do these lives on Instagram like we talked about, and I used to talk to Levon about it, but Levon literally said, I'm not marching yet.
Yeah.
But hit me up when I start marching, we'll make it happen.
Yep, I did.
And he here.
I didn't even know Levon was marching.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
I was a little quiet about it for a minute.
I went to the merge and had a great time. It was cool. Like, recorded the bands, everything, march out, everything. And he saw my story and he swiped up. I never told you this. I was at Little Caesars when you swiped over my story. I was gone. I wasn't even on campus no more. And he was like, so you just came down here? You didn't say nothing? I was like, you was in the band? That's exactly how that happened.
Yeah.
So then when he told me that he was in the band, I said, you know what? I'm going to be at another game this fall. Now that I know you marching, I'm going to be at another game this fall.
Yep, facts.
Straight up.
Yeah.
And like I went down there and seen you march at Soul Bowl.
Yeah.
And y'all killed it. That was a great game, had a great time. And I was like, nah, we gotta keep this train rolling. We gotta do something.
And it was good
else.
seeing you and the fam too.
Oh yeah, dude, because they all like will, come down to the game and everything. It's music runs in our family, so we push that really heavily. So, I mean, how did you get into music?
Barrington, third grade. My music teacher, Miss Berger, asked. You remember Miss Berger? Yeah, my music teacher, Miss Berger, asked me. She would come on like Tuesdays or something like that, and we would get there early. She asked what instrument I wanted to play. I said trumpet, and I don't know. The rest is history. People just kept saying I was like naturally,
keep playing.
Naturally just better at it. Like I sounded good for my age, and so I don't know. It just made me want to keep going.
Yeah.
And then middle school. Dang, I'm forgetting my middle school band director's name.
I had Miss Moser.
Miss Moser?
Yeah.
Did you go to North?
I went. Miss Stewart. That's her name. Miss Stewart.
You went to Central?
No, I went to North Middle.
Oh, so by the time you went to North Middle, Miss Moser wasn't there anymore. Wow. Okay.
Miss Stewart in 6th through 8th, and that was super cool. And then she introduced me to Mr. Thomas my 8th grade year because we were marching with the high schoolers, and then rest is history.
Yeah.
Marched to high school, drum major.
And that's when I met you.
Freshman
when you
year.
became a high school student.
Yeah.
Like, when you got in the program, did you come in with my little brother, or did he? He was there the year before you.
Yeah, Nate's a year older than me, so I was under him. My fault.
Yeah, no, like when you came up, I remember seeing y'all. You all had a freshman class. There was a lot of y'all playing trumpet,
it was a decent amount.
I feel, because Kayla and I mean, we were staff at that time, but I just remember TJ was the one seriously working with you all. But
shout out TJ.
You and was it Lawrence? I think.
Yep.
Was he a trumpet player?
Yep.
Man, y'all used to kill him on trumpet, bro.
Brennan was on trumpet at the time too.
Yeah.
Before he switched.
Yeah. Shout out Brennan. Yeah.
Ariana, Mary. Shout out Mary.
Y'all had a large. That was probably the biggest trumpet section
brass,
Central was at in a minute.
I ain't gonna lie. I feel like our freshman year of like high school was probably the best year we had for marching band. I feel like as the years went on, we kind of just
dwindled in the numbers. Yeah.
Was that the year that you all played Estancia? Yeah, that was a good ass.
That was a great year. That was a great year.
Well, after that, wasn't it COVID?
No, we had one more
couple years. Yeah,
okay.
Another year.
And then COVID.
Yeah, that's crazy. Estancia was such a dope piece too.
Yeah. And it was loud. Like we sounded great. Like we were balanced, and it was like, yeah.
So yeah, when we had all sat in Thomas's office thinking about we need one more song for this field show. The field show was too short. What can we do? We looking online and everything. I think we looked at like 6 or 7 different songs too, and a couple of them we all were like no's across the board. A couple of them were definitely more like turned up songs where obviously I was like yes, and the drum break was fire. I was like let's roll with it. You know how Thomas is. He's like no. And then we found Estancia, and it was a balance of everything. And we thumbs up.
Yeah,
I
still love Estancia to this day.
Man, it's such a dope piece. I was like, we got to teach this like in 3 days, so we should get out of here and start working on it. That's so wild, dude. Just like how far everybody's come in the music community and everything. Like
that was such a long time ago too. Like,
and I just remember like when we had the band app. You remember that? I used to send y'all clips of Black college bands because I wanted y'all to know about it because I knew that it wasn't being pushed.
Yeah, that's very
at
true.
Our high school.
That's very true.
And I was just like, well, if we can't play it, at least watch this video.
So you know it's out there. You know you can do it.
You know it's out
There's
there.
Groups out there.
So I mean, that really leads us into it, man. Jackson State. What led you there?
This is gonna sound crazy when I say this. I'm gonna look directly at the camera. I kid you not. I was a sophomore in high school.
Okay.
I got on Google because I knew I wanted to be a music teacher at the start of my sophomore year. I knew I wanted to be a music teacher. Typed in Google, what is the best HBCU music program? Jackson State University.
Wow.
First application I sent out. And I wasn't worried about anything else until I finished that Jackson State application. And so,
I remember like you were one of the first that came to me and said that you applied.
Yeah.
Because I would send y'all like a band video a week of a different school on purpose so that y'all would get to know like all the different schools, you know what I'm saying? But when you said that you were going down there, I was like, let me know when the first game is, bro. Like I'll be there.
Yeah. And it took me a little minute, but I mean I got there. So
yeah, no, you
only
did
a year. And you know, freshman year I was just really focused on school. So
yeah. I mean that's a big step.
Yeah.
Like, going from high school and then going down there, going to college and having to adapt and things like that. I wish I would have gone, but at the same time, I am blessed that my journey went the way that it did. I was already kicking it enough here in St. Louis. Can't imagine if I went away. I don't think any work would have gotten done.
yeah.
So
I think it was good for me to go away just because like I know how I am, and so it was good to be like out of my comfort zone and be in a place that I knew was going to challenge me.
Yeah.
And so like after everything was situated with school, and I was like okay, cool. I have this down. I know that on these days I need to like handle my business this way, and I was used to the whole like college student thing. I was like, okay, cool. Let me go ahead and add band back on my plate because like I was going to the games, so like I'm hearing it. I'm like, okay, yeah, I miss band. Y'all are loud. Like I would love to do this again. So yeah,
you needed that
audition.
one break in between to like realize how much you still wanted to play. And you went back into it.
And it was definitely needed because it just made me work at it.
Oh,
and that's the work ethic is that. That's huge.
Man, I saw it. Speaking of challenges, like how was it for you coming from core style going into show style, but like and crabbing?
That's a good
If
question.
my siblings end up watching this, they're gonna laugh at this part because they know that I was probably one of the worst marchers. Like when we first got to band, only because
shout out to all the boss crab brothers and sisters.
only
man.
because like I had never marched show style before, and so I guess like they said my swingest way was like bow legged, which is crazy because I actually am bow legged, and so like I would lean further to one side than the
okay,
other,
I see
and so
what
I
you're
look
saying.
real robotic or whatever. But
I was gonna say stiff because that's what we have to do in core style.
the transition though was, I don't know. It was a little challenging, but overall, I feel like there are a lot of similarities, if that makes sense. Like, as far as the mentality, I feel like getting used to that was definitely different
Yeah.
because, like, I feel like at least the core style we had at Central or whatever was very like laid back. It wasn't as like let's get this done, let's crank it up, like let's
I get
handle
what
some
you're
business.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
I love that energy in college now because that's what we're here for. We're here to turn people up. So but But yeah, just getting used to that mentality of like really pushing myself, even when I'm like dead tired. My chops feel like I can't even play a single note, and just like Doc saying, "Run it again, let's go," or play this passage again, or do this, or like this needs to be memorized by tomorrow, or we're adding a new song, or
Having to push through.
yeah, it's just getting in that mentality of like it's cool, like whatever needs to get done is gonna get done.
Yeah.
And I feel like you don't say anything like that unless you believe that. You know what I'm saying? Like that mentality. I don't know if you had that mentality when you first began your process of joining the band, but now you definitely have that. Like you're saying, whatever needs to get done, it's gonna get done.
Yeah.
Like it's just gotta get done.
And at first it was definitely like, it's hard, dog. Like,
Down there,
like that's ran the show. Like it sounded fine to me, but like
yeah,
I mean,
dude, you gotta.
I don't have my degree yet, so I'm just I'm on my business. But yeah,
Yeah.
And speaking of your embouchure being tired, like, you know, JSU is known for their trumpet section or and the brass section.
Yeah.
So
Shout
I
out
mean,
Trump
how is the pressure with that?
it was very humbling for me. I will say, like in high school, I never played like second or third. I was always a first. I was like, if I wasn't first chair, I was second chair. Like
Right.
I've always been like that guy, and so it was very humbling for me to like get around other that guys, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And like they be so like not they be so wow, but like they're so cold, like just easily like off rip, like no warm up, no nothing. They're just like up in the stratosphere, in the stratosphere. And it was just very humbling for me because it's like, wow, I really want to get there, and so I'm gonna learn everything I need to from these people to get there, because you know that's just very motivating for me to see.
I do. I remember when I want to say it was after the merge, and for some reason they had Boombox Classic early as shit this year. I didn't understand that at all. That should be at least in October, but it was in September, so whatever. But like, I remember hitting you up because I heard the Boom play Projects.
Yeah.
First off, one of my favorite arrangements this season. Loved it. But I literally zoomed in and I was like, where's bro at? Like, I don't see bro.
Yeah.
So I text you and I was just like, yo, like, where you at, man? I was like, you said you didn't make the travel list.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, you good? That was the first thing. Are you cool? You said you were good. You were like, I just need to work on my chops a little more, but I'm gonna get there.
Yeah.
And you got there. Like to come down there and see you marching at the end of the season, you still riding that high of being in the band and everything like that. You didn't let that break you. You didn't let that stop you. You know what I'm saying?
And there
That's awesome.
there were definitely a few moments like throughout the season that were very discouraging for me, because like I said, I've never like when I was in band in high school, I've never not been like a person that people look at and say, okay, cool, we can depend on Levon to play this part and do this. And
Yeah.
And so it was very different for me to like get in the program and like start cracking notes and like be messing up on passages and just like not catching stuff as
quickly as...
and it was really like, oh my gosh, like I am so like aggravated right now because this has never been the case. And so it was really like, okay, let's get to work.
Right. And I'm sure that pressuring feeling being in that band and like when you crack that note, I'm sure, I don't know how Doc conducts his rehearsals or anything, but is it that if one messes up, everything cuts?
It's more like, it depends on, so we have like group practices, of course, and then we have sectionals. So like sectionals are ran completely different from like group practice. But like if it gets really like, if it gets like really bad, of course Doc will say something. But if it's just like, you miss a note and you know you missed it, just, you know, don't miss it again.
Right.
It's just a matter.
Well, that's cool because, you know, some band directors, you miss one note and they cut the whole rehearsal off.
But if it's like a situation of like I'm a second trumpet, so I'm not a screamer or anything like that yet. But if it's a situation of like we have a screamer trying to hit a note in practice and it's not necessarily called for, then he might say something like that because it's just like,
right. I mean,
depending on the situation.
But that's how you learn. That's how you learn. Yeah. I mean, and speaking of the games and like being in that turn in atmosphere, you said you're there to turn people up, right? What would be number one, like your favorite game of the season or your favorite moment in the stands or on the field, and then number two, what's your favorite rivalry?
So hands down, my favorite memory was when me and my siblings crossed drum funk. Because
It was so cool to actually be there for that too.
And the way
that
dope. And the way that my section leaders, shout out my section leaders, the way that they just did it was just so like, it just hyped everyone up.
Yeah.
Like, we're sitting at the game, we're getting ready to play. We came to play, like how we always do at the start of every game. And they're like, watch for the flash, watch for the flash. And everybody like, why not just tell us the flash? Why not, like, we all kind of like, it's like, why not just tell us what the flash is before, you know? And so we're playing, we came to play, blah, 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 boom, 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 boom. And then it's like, okay, throw a trump funk, throw a trump funk. Everybody like, oh!
Yeah, y'all made it. Yeah,
we just threw it up. And then we went right back to playing. And like the rest of the game after that, everybody was just like, you could feel that energy.
Everybody was locked in at that point. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's what's up.
But yeah, that was probably my favorite memory. And then you said favorite rivalry for the second question.
What's the one band you know you're going to battle and it makes you wake up extra early in the morning because you're already that high?
I'm biased, but I'm going to say Fam. Only because Brennan's in
I
Fam.
like that.
So I always enjoy being able to like see them play in person just because I have a homeboy that's in there.
Yeah.
So that's
And you did get to play them, right?
Yeah. And that was fun. Their trumpets are okay, I guess.
Still a band program I would love to see in person.
Yes,
Shout out Fam Mellows though.
Yeah, shout out Brennan, man. I'm gonna come see you before you graduate. We'll coordinate.
We need to get you up on here one of these days.
Yeah, absolutely.
Please.
Absolutely. I would say that my favorite rivalry game, you know, whatever. I think a lot of people say Jackson Southern, but I would honestly say Alcorn.
Okay.
That's
nice.
Being there, even in the tailgate, people's talking shit. Like in the parking lot, at the McDonald's up the street, like it was already there.
You know what's crazy though? I was actually, this might sound crazy when I say it, but I was very disappointed in not only Southern, but Alcorn as well. Because it was just like,
The game itself, or like just the battle?
it was just like all the upperclassmen were hyping them up, like, we got to be worried about them, blah, blah, blah. They got something to prove and yada, yada. And then it was just like, it didn't necessarily translate that they were coming for our heads. The whole, do you get what I'm saying? So it was just like, y'all hyped them up, but like, they not even like, you know?
No, I do get that. It actually, I feel like a more entertaining battle has been you all in Alabama State more recently than, I feel like they have brought it a little bit more than those two. I didn't really check for Southern at all this year.
Now I'm trying to remember. We play
Love
so
Southern.
much. We play
Yeah.
so much music. Hold on. Let me try to remember. What did we play?
I feel like that was y'all homecoming against Bama State this year, I think. I feel like they came.
I feel like our homecoming was against Texas Southern.
Oh, okay.
I might be.
I like them too.
I might be wrong. Sophomore year was a blur because school.
I mean,
band. It was a lot. It was a lot.
I mean, it's nothing
Juggling
like
the
a good
workload.
rivalry, though. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see Jackson and Southern play in person.
I would love.
Yeah.
Also, another crazy take. I would love to see us go up against a DCI group.
Ooh.
That's just me personally. That's just me personally talking.
agree.
I don't know.
I agree.
And who
agree.
and if you had to pick one, who would it be?
Again, this is just me speaking personally. I know there are probably going to be other Boomsmen that see this. This is just my opinion because I love band, and I just think it would be a great challenge for us. And I'm also a little biased. I would love for us to go up against Blue Stars because I've seen them perform. Seen them perform in person,
absolutely.
and they're great. And I would also think maybe like I say Crown.
Crown. I was gonna say
like
you
that would
all
be really
are
cool.
very well known for your brass sections and things like that. So drum corps wise.
And if we went like technicality for technicality and just like, I feel like that would be really cool to see.
I'd love to see y'all go up against Regiment or the Colts. Blue Stars would be awesome. Crown would be awesome. Cavaliers, any of them, honestly.
named all of
Just
them.
keep it like we have the HBCU culture and they stay with the DCI culture and we just go head to head.
Yeah.
That would
Yeah.
be,
And
that would be
yeah.
amazing to me.
And honestly, it's a win for both because DCI only fans, because they are out there, where
They're going to get a showcase of HBCU and vice
they
versa.
feel like cranking is not respectable.
Yeah.
Some of them do respect it, but a lot of them are like,
It's sloppy and it has no
Yep.
technique.
But
It
they
doesn't
have
take any
no idea what it
technique.
takes.
It does take
no
some,
idea what it
trust
takes.
me.
And speaking of that, cranking still takes musicality.
Yeah.
Kayla and I talk about this all the time. So we got to play our song of the week or the song of the episode, which will be from the 2018 season, Jackson State University, Sonic Boom in the South, So Beautiful by Music Soul Child. Probably one of my favorites.
I wonder who wrote this.
I would say one of my favorites.
I feel like it had to be Doc or Mr. Johnson.
Shout out Doc, because
But all of the pen is just like
crazy on that.
every time.
Who arranged Butterflies? Michael Jackson.
I can actually tell you right now.
Because that's my that was my favorite arrangement from last season. Was Butterflies.
If I'm not mistaken, yeah, Mr. Johnson.
Oh, dang.
Shout out Mr. Johnson.
Yeah, shout out Mr.
That-
Johnson.
that right there.
Mr. Johnson
buddy.
is certified for sure.
Because usually I have to be honest, Jackson ballads don't hit for me, but Butterflies, it gave me goosebumps.
That's
See,
crazy.
So Beautiful. I used to work at a car dealership at Bommarito Toyota, and I was on evenings, and I was like one of the only person there just like cleaning the lot or moving lot cars around. I just had So Beautiful on repeat all night. All night.
believe it.
That was probably one of my favorite ballads, man. It really was.
I'll probably say for a ballad, I really like those After 7 songs we played.
Okay.
Like Ready or Not. That
Ready
was
or Not, yeah.
Ready or Not was just beautiful.
Now, what was your favorite like crank up song though?
I really liked.
I know.
Actually, no.
Oh, come on.
Actually,
That was one of my faves. That's one of my
only
faves.
because at the time, my chops, like I could not stay up there how I wanted to, and just like, and you know how picky I am with how I like.
Very.
And so it just like it was aggravating to play because it's just like if I don't sound how I know I'm supposed to sound, it's like, you know, what's the point?
Right.
Yeah.
But cranking wise, maybe like Let's Do It. Let's Do It is cool. I like Let's Do It.
That was cool.
I
did
like
that one.
Let's Do It really hypes me up. Projects hypes me up too.
Projects dope. On My Mama was dope.
Yeah,
I don't know if
I
you
liked
could
On
really
My
call
Mama.
that like a crank. Like
Not really, but it
The-
kind of
but it does kinda-
in that mood. Yeah,
it does. It does. That video of y'all playing that at Southern and Doc was like standing up on the ladder and was like,
Yeah.
I was like, because that's what it does.
I'm blanking out on what I'm forgetting another like crank song that really. Hold on.
I mean,
There's
let's
one
see
more
what
that
it is.
really-
Shoot.
that really just
Hit your soul.
it just does something. It just does something.
That's what it's supposed
Take
to
you
do.
there.
It does. Hold on. Let me see.
I was about to say, is it on the album? Because I got the album on my
Oh,
phone.
okay. So yeah. Turn Your Click Up was really.
Oh
good,
yeah,
too.
Turn Your Click Up was dope.
Just
that
because
was
it's like real. It's just real in your face.
Yeah.
It's loud. It's just
Turn Your Click Up was dope. Y'all had, I mean, you all had a whole bunch that were
and Tom Ford.
real cool.
I'm glad we brought
Yeah.
Tom Ford back. That was great to experience with some of the upperclassmen.
Did you play on Hot Damn this year?
Oh, talking about New Day.
Yeah.
Yes, we played that at the Merge too, didn't?
I think so.
Yeah, we did.
That one was definitely turned. I like that because I think, if I'm not wrong, was it fused with another arrangement, like another hip hop
New Day
song?
is
Yeah.
fused with Amped Up.
Amped Up.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's
Because
what
I
it
remember
is.
seeing it from the YouTube title. That,
Yeah.
bro, yeah, man, that was nice.
Yeah,
I like that one
it's
a
loud.
lot. So speaking of the program and how you have come so far in the program and continuing to be an aspiring musician and things like that, what are a few things that you would tell any aspiring Sonic Boom of the South members? Any advice?
Memorize whatever Doc puts in the audition packet early. It will help you in the long run.
Okay.
Do long tones, even though they're very boring. They aren't lying when they say long tones are your like savior. Like
It's gonna help a lot.
Like they do help a lot. Like seriously. Long tones, memorize music early. Get in the habit of like being uncomfortable.
That's big.
If you aren't already like working out, I would suggest picking up a routine as well, because like you wouldn't really think it's as physically demanding as it is, but like we're in Mississippi and Doc is going to like, so have a routine, because come band camp, if you don't, you're just gonna be tired and worn out every day.
Yeah.
It'll just be a little bit easier to get through if you're already used to working out.
So better preparation ahead is
for sure.
always.
Yeah, for sure. Don't give up, really. Like just believe in yourself. Like know that if you are really passionate about it and music is something that you really love, like really don't give up.
Yeah.
Like seriously, because there are gonna be some days where like you're like, do I really want to do this?
Like I need out.
It's almost 11 o'clock. I still have homework to do. Like I had a paper that I still haven't finished that's due tonight at 11:59. Like, do I really like, you know?
Yeah.
But and there are gonna be days like that. There are gonna be days where you're sitting in class and it's like, dang, I got practice after this, and still like, but just keep going. Remember your purpose.
Yeah.
That's what somebody told me once. Remember your purpose.
I feel that, because like even from what we do within the community with this platform, like going to the games and everything always leaves me with inspiration and makes me want to like go harder with what we're doing. Inspiration is everything, man.
Yeah.
It's important.
Yeah, I agree.
And speaking of inspiration, like you being a part of the Sonic Boom, what benefit can you say you've gotten out of it so far?
I've learned so much. Like, I literally used my sophomore year to just act like a sponge and just soak up as much knowledge as I could from like my upperclassmen, from my upperclassmen to like my siblings, to my mentors and like professors. Like I tried to learn as much as I could and just like really internalize it, because I know that everything that they're telling me is like for my benefit.
Yeah.
Especially my section leaders, especially staff, like they want us to be great musicians. They want to hone and develop our skills. So when I got that email that I was in, I said, okay, I'm just gonna
here we go.
I'm just gonna soak it all up, and that's what I did the whole season. Like I feel like I tried my best to be as open to everything as possible.
And honestly, speaking of what you just said, that kind of leads me into an important but also our last question of the episode: homecoming.
Yeah.
The night prior, right? Mm-hmm. Does the current band practice with the alumni and everybody marches back, or how does that go?
Wait, ask the question one more time.
Like, okay, you go on YouTube and like there'll be a march back or a march back from the practice field, and it'll be like current band members, alumni, drum majors, like alumni, everybody marching back to the band room the night before, I guess, the homecoming game or whatever.
Okay.
What exactly, like, have you had any experience with Sonic Boom alumni, and are they pretty well coaching? Do they give you good insight and things about how to keep going?
The only experiences I've really had with like alumni were really actually just like alumni trumpet players that just came while people were like getting ready to do the halftime show.
Right.
And I wasn't on the field for the halftime show. And they were just coming over talking, hey, what part do you play? I played this part. I played this year, blah, blah, blah. I keep going. Why you not on the field? Oh, like, don't let it get to you. Just like words of motivation like that for real.
And that's always dope.
And then as far as like that march back from that homecoming practice, if I remember correctly, Doc had all of like the freshmen leave early. Like we the freshmen wrapped up practice early, and then upperclassmen march back with alumni.
Oh, okay.
I think
I got you.
If
That's
I'm
such a
remembering
cool
right.
tradition, man.
Yeah,
Like,
it really is.
I
And
feel
it was
like a
loud.
lot
Like we
of
heard it.
man,
Like we heard it like from all the way down from
because I feel like with them, they just having fun and reminiscing on what
Yeah.
they went through. So they ain't tripping off dynamics or nothing. It's just time to crank.
Right, they trying to crank up.
And like, I definitely plan on being down there because I want to experience that. I want to.
Definitely.
I like to be in the middle of all of that.
Because seeing it on YouTube definitely doesn't do it justice.
Not at all.
Like, I don't know if you remember, like the first time when me and Brendan came back from that high school day that Jackson State did.
Yeah.
And we
I
saw them
remember that.
perform.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way that I just heard what I heard and that was like produced by people. Like,
Right. Yeah.
because like
absolutely.
that was just an unreal sound. Like it literally is like a physical force that hits you in person.
It definitely
When you
is.
like it's actually insane. So like if you're a fan of music and
gotta
bands,
go.
you have to go in person. You have to
Yeah.
at least go once.
Yeah.
And once you do, you're not gonna want to watch it on YouTube
No, you want to go in person every single time.
every single time.
I love watching band all year long on YouTube, but during the season, if I'm watching something on YouTube, I'm annoyed because that means I wasn't able to be there.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You got to be there. You want to be there and be in the mix.
And that is one thing I enjoyed from my freshman year was seeing like a lot of the bands that I had thought about potentially joining prior to JSU, like seeing them in person and actually like hearing them,
Yeah,
like as opposed to like seeing them on YouTube. 'Cause
Right.
It definitely does hit different.
it hits different. It's a completely different experience. Well,
Definitely.
man, Levine, we appreciate you for doing this with us.
was
Yes,
great.
My
we
boy.
really do. We really do.
I was nervous at first. I
I know you were. No, you good. Dude, you good. You good. This is
We
a
just-
brand new podcast. We're still building.
Yeah.
We're not talking about all the
It's a
time.
Happy to
safe
help.
place to talk about band.
Happy to
It's
have
literally
you.
what it is.
Yep.
Tell everybody where they can follow you on social media.
My Instagram is Vono VVONN0. And yeah.
Make sure you follow it. He got all the coolest fashion trends and everything, doing his own thing. Doing his own thing.
I just
Make
play
sure
my
you go
horn and
follow.
go to class. I don't know what he's talking about.
Oh man, well, we don't have anything necessarily coming up this summer, but this fall we will be hitting the road and we will be at
Yep.
as many games as we can make it to. Hopefully, we will be at the Merge in August. We'll see what happens.
I'm looking forward to that.
We can't wait to
Oh
see.
my gosh, I'll be an upperclassman.
You'll be
Like,
an upperclassman.
I'm really
We
looking
can't
forward
wait
to
to
this
see it,
season.
man.
Like, yeah.
So once again, man, this has been another episode of the 314 Midwest Crank Podcast. My name is Nick,
And Kayla,
and our special guest Levine.
Hey, I mean, bye.
crank up.
I'm glad you threw that in. Perfect. Appreciate it, bro. That was lit.